Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is JP, the Outlaw, the voice that makes a voice, your favorite color commentator, the demon, shooting out vanilla flavored semen. Save that last part unless they screaming. Welcome to my review of WWE's Backlash pay-per-view, May 2018. The date is the 7th. Last night was a show. Backlash did exactly what it did. Gave me whiplash and made me extremely tired. A couple of good matches. For the most part, this show was more or less another B show, given the fact that they just did the greatest Royal Rumble in India. This show didn't really have like an overall arcing feel of excitement. Even as far as the match layout goes, normally watching a WWE product, especially with a 4-month build, there's a little bit more anticipation for the pay-per-view. But this being one of their lackluster pay-per-views, only given the fact that, again, the greatest Royal Rumble was just a week ago. So I can see where people are disconnected. I also can see where the crowd wasn't into certain matches. I would blame two reasons. One, certain matches didn't make any sense to me. I understand completely. I felt the same way. The crowd didn't come alive until the Daniel Bryan match, and that's 4 matches in. Second thing, they was in Jersey, so that explains itself. Newark, New Jersey, and I don't know how WrestleMania is going to come off this year, but I can only imagine, given the fact that Jersey, there's no excitement in Jersey. No excitement at all. I think that's where, if you can't make it to Florida, you go to Jersey to die. So, yeah. They start the match off. Miz versus Seth Rollins. Now, The Miz is a boring wrestler. He is a great entertainer. But as a wrestler, he is fucking boring. And I would like to think this match could have been made better with a different opponent. I think Daniel Bryan, not even Daniel Bryan, let's go Raw. Who do we have on Raws? Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Jinder Mahal, Dolph Ziggler. You could have put anybody in this spot versus The Miz. Now, I know that he has his rematch clause inside of his contract, which the WWE only takes serious unless if you're not Brock Lesnar. I know Brock Lesnar, Kevin Owens went to go get his rematch clause, and still him, Finn Balor, just around the Universal Championship. That's the only title where they haven't acted on their rematch clause. So I would definitely switch it up. I think with The Miz going over to SmackDown now, you can move forward with Seth Rollins. This match in the U.S. Championship match is pretty much just a wrap-up of all last year. This is it. You won't see these guys in the title picture as far as The Miz and Randy Orton is concerned. I hope not. Great match. I tip my hat to Seth Rollins. It's time for Mr. Burn It Down himself to move up to the main event roster. Alongside Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Brock Lesnar. It wouldn't be bad to see Seth Rollins in there, especially with all these big dudes. He comes off as this generation's Shawn Michaels or even Bret Hart. So I would definitely love to see him in another package. Let's get the Intercontinental title off of him and move him up to that main event status. Moving on, second match of the night. Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. Why did this match happen? Me personally, I feel as though out of everything you could have did with Nia Jax, I don't understand this whole anti-bully campaign with Alexa Bliss. Her character in itself comes off as a little bit of an asshole, or excuse the expression, a cunt. I think Alexa Bliss could be better used on SmackDown versus Raw, only because what else is there left for her to do on SmackDown, on Raw, on Monday nights? I think with Ronda Rousey being over there, they just moved over Natalia. I wouldn't mind Alexa Bliss taking the back seat, pushing Nia Jax just a little bit harder. You know, I don't mind her smiling. I don't even mind the hair color change, even though I think it makes her look like Marlon Brando. Nothing against Nia Jax. Everybody knows that I am a fan of Nia. You know, big girls matter. I think Nia Jax should be used better. I don't like this whatever the hell they're calling her, you know, unbelievable force or some shit like that. I don't like that. I would rather Nia Jax be the female version of Braun Strowman, completely dominating the women's division. That's what she should be doing. And then when she meets Ronda Rousey, no smiles with Ronda Rousey or Nia Jax, and then they go into a nice long feud, taking them into WrestleMania. Just my opinion. A great promo, be a star promo for Nia Jax at the end of this match. And again, I guess to push that anti-bullying campaign that they're running with the WWE, but I don't see Nia Jax being the voice piece for that. You would take a weirdo like Ember Moon or any other woman on the WWE roster other than Nia Jax. Nia Jax should be taken serious. Moving on. Another backstage segment with Samoa Joe. He cuts a fantastic promo on Roman Reigns for later tonight, which ends up being the main event, but we'll talk about that when we get there. Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy for the U.S. Championship. This match was too slow. If you want my personal opinion, great match, but it was just way too slow. And I technically blame Orton for this, same way that I blame Miz for Seth Rollins' match. When you look at a Seth Rollins and a Jeff Hardy, these guys are remembered for a high-paced, octane, fast type offense, okay? So when you pair them with I would like to say a WWE wrestling, you know, Seth Rollins and Jeff Hardy has wrestled around the world. So they can switch it up into another gear where you have a wrestler like The Miz and Randy Orton who's so used to working the WWE style of wrestling where they're just moving slow. This is why you get Rusev chants in the middle of a Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton match. That's the reason. The only reason, because the pacing of the match was too slow. When Jeff Hardy started to kick it up into another gear, the crowd warmed up, geared up, and got ready along with Jeff Hardy. I mean, the match never came out of two, but for the most part, I blame Randy Orton for that, you know. And again, I hope this ends Randy Orton chasing the U.S. Championship, as well as The Miz, you know, he's done as far as the Intercontinental Championship, because he's going on to SmackDown Live. So, you know, very interesting to see what they'll do as far as talent on SmackDown Live and Raw, just to see who's being moved into that next mid-card number one contendership. I would like to see how that pans out. In the ring with Elias. I think this was one of Elias's greatest performances. He is over as fuck. You know, he knows Bruce Springsteen or some shit like that from Jersey. The boss. Okay? Yeah, I know who he is. I did tongue-tied early morning. Forgive me. So out comes the New Day. They wish to walk with Elias. So, you know, Elias says, please, guys, let me go back to what I'm doing. Let me finish my concert here. Out comes Rusev. Rusev, you know, Aiden English does his whole rapping stick in the beginning of it. Rusev says, you know, I'm out here to challenge you. I don't want to walk with you. I'm going to fight. You got, you know, the Booty Boys and a ripoff, I forget what he called him. It was another rock star performer. I just can't think of his name. They move past that segment. Out comes No Way Jose with the conga line. And the interesting thing is they had the Titus Worldwide inside the conga line. He's not doing anything. Why don't you go out there and fall all over the place? Then you had Breezango, which is Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Also at the tail end of the conga line. This just goes to show me this is where the WWE have placed you now. This is what they think of you. You just go out there and be background noise. Of course, Elias stops the conga line mid-conga. And, he would like to continue his concert. He tells JoJo for the final time, announce me, let's do this shit. So, please ask for no interruptions. Out comes Bobby Roode. Of course, he hits him with a glorious DDT. And then Bobby Roode dances out of the arena. Why? I only ask why because Bobby Roode, this time last year, before even being moved up to the main roster, was hotter than fish grease. He had the crowd in the palm of his fucking hand. And now I look at Bobby Roode as nothing more than what I just said with Titus Worldwide, with Breeze and Fandango. You're just fucking background noise. And this is what the WWE has done to one of their marquee must-see talents. And it's nobody's fault. It's not Bobby's. It's the WWE's. This is horrible booking. Why the fuck would he be in a segment like this? And this is why nobody can get over inside the WWE. They have a great wave of momentum coming out of NXT. And whatever the fuck reason, we got to switch it up. We got to chop it down. We got to make these guys not as popular as my main event guys, as a Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar. That's the only time the crowd should pop. Makes no fucking sense. Big Cass versus Daniel Bryan. I like the feud. The crowd finally came alive, like I said, after 4 matches in. Extremely behind Daniel Bryan. Of course, Big Cass is getting the proper heat because he's going up against a superstar on the level of Daniel Bryan. Imagine Big Cass doing this with a Lindsay Donato or TJP. Imagine him doing this with a TJP, okay, from the Cruiserweight Classic. It wouldn't be the same results, only because it's Daniel Bryan. Do you get a pop like this? I love the story that's being told here as far as Daniel Bryan and Big Cass. I wouldn't mind seeing these cats go at it one more time. Daniel Bryan comeback story is going to be amazing, and I think Big Cass, this will help catapult him up into that upper mid card. I wouldn't mind seeing him go up against a Jeff Hardy or an Andre Cien for the chance to fight Jeff Hardy. I wouldn't mind them pushing Big Cass in another direction as The Miz starts a feud with Daniel Bryan. But a great match here. Of course, Daniel Bryan picks up the win. The Miz comes out, knocks him. Big Cass not being able to take the fact that he tapped out to the yes lock. He comes out, attacks him from behind, and pretty much leaves the end of this match looking strong. Charlotte versus Carmella. Kill me now with Carmella's voice. Great match. I actually enjoyed the match, but Carmella's voice is fucking cringe-worthy, okay? Not even cringe. It's fucking get off my TV, you Ann Fresher, the nanny wannabe. Because that's how her voice sounds yelled at that loud of a pitch. That's the most I took out of that fucking match, is that her voice, especially when the crowd is dead, extremely dead, is extremely annoying. Okay? You can kill me with that. And I like Carmella. I think she's okay. A little bit too much with the super kicks. I would like for her to get a couple more moves underneath her belt. I don't even think she got 5 moves of doom. Maybe 2. But, I would like to see Carmella pretty much get better. I think if she worked with a Becky Lynch or maybe another round with Charlotte, we'll see where she goes as far as in the ring talent. Mind you, Carmella hasn't been used enough to hone her skills ever since being moved up to the main roster. And, that's my opinion. Since they called her up, I think they used Alexa Bliss better than what they used Carmella Carmella being moved up to the main roster. That's my opinion. We go into the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match between AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Great fucking match here, you guys. There's a couple spots where I was like, damn, he could have really fucked AJ up. The one spot where he had the steel chair and he went for the Kinshasa, but AJ kind of threw the chair at his knee, but the chair bounced back, hit AJ in the face, left a big welt on the side of his face. Very big welt. So, I think that with a little bit more practice and a little bit more time, not even practice, just a little bit more time for these great competitors, AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, they're telling a fantastic story. I hate the ending. The ending, the double disqualification, both men not answering the 10 count. I think with that being said, these guys must go one more match, and that'll be the fourth match. And that should be the match where AJ Styles drops the title. AJ Styles doesn't really need the title when your spearhead is Shinsuke Nakamura. What Nakamura needs is a voice piece. Just like an Andre Cien. Nakamura shouldn't have to speak anything. He should have somebody representing him just like you have with a Brock Lesnar. Whereas though, it keeps the draw of Shinsuke Nakamura. It keeps that momentum that he built in NXT around him. Okay? That's how I would do Shinsuke Nakamura with the WWE Championship. Again, I like the match. I just dislike the finish. The double disqualification, both scoring low blows. AJ Styles retains his WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Moving on. Braun and Bobby Lashley versus KO and Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, the best thing on Monday Night Raw. And it shows why. I mean, of course, I would like to see them in a more serious main event role, but especially Kevin Owens. But I don't mind this. I don't mind the cool heels that they're playing. Okay, especially Sami. I expect shit like this from Kevin Owens, but Sami Zayn is doing his own thing. He's doing his own thing. It was one part in this match where Sami Zayn was like, you know what, I'm done. We don't need this shit. Come on, walk with me. Sami Zayn throws Kevin Owens in the ring. He takes a power bomb and a body slam. Slides back out the ring. Sami Zayn's like, see, didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you didn't want to go back in there? Kevin Owens turns around, throws Sami Zayn back in the ring. I thought it was great. I think they could do a lot more with Braun and, Bobby Lashley. I hate that Bobby Lashley is just there to set up the hot tag for a Braun Strowman, when Bobby Lashley can be used as a number one contender for the Universal Championship. If you want to bring Roman Reigns out of that number one contender slot, I wouldn't mind to see Bobby Lashley be the next person to defend, Bobby Lashley being the next person to challenge a Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. I wouldn't mind that at all. It's all about the story that you tell to get there. But once you take him out of that number one contender slot, Roman Reigns, what do you do with him? See, again, all this is based off of what do you do with Roman. I think now is the time to turn Roman heel, even though he had a fantastic pop in New Jersey. Go figure. But I think it's time to turn Roman heel and bring him to the other side of wrestling. I mean, he's been babyface ever since he's been called up to the main roster. I think it's time. I think it's time to move past this babyface Roman Reigns thing and just promote him as a heel. Just my opinion. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Like I said, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, they do their thing. Of course, they take the loss here. Even after the match, Braun and Bobby decides they did a couple of running slams on both men, okay? And I really like what they're doing with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I wouldn't mind seeing these two guys go up against Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship. Maybe in a three-way, because I think Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens tells his own story. Even though they told that story 1,000 times, it's funny that they're teamed up now. Of course, our main event, go figure, Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe. My biggest problem with this Roman does not have a title. Samoa Joe does not have a title. So how does it take top billing over the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match with AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura? I think those two spots should have switched along with the women's match. Just to slow shit down, should have probably went on before the last match of the night. You know, you could have picked any women's match there, the Raw women's match or even the SmackDown women's match in that gap right there. And I think it would have slowed things down tremendously. It would have definitely kept up with the pacing of the match, but I just don't like the way they book this. They make your SmackDown World Heavyweight Championship seem pointless and irrelevant. Okay, you know, with Roman getting top booking, this should have been for the Universal Championship. You know, Roman should have said, you know, I've beaten Brock Lesnar, which again, the story that they're trying to tell here, he did beat Brock Lesnar. His feet hit the ground first. He beat Brock Lesnar. He beat Samoa Joe, his would-be usurper. Okay. Now, moving past Joe, what do you do with Roman? Don't worry about Joe. Joe's going to be fine on SmackDown Live. It won't surprise me if Samoa Joe, again, after everything clears with Shinsuke Nakamura, it wouldn't surprise me if you see Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles moving into SummerSlam. That's money match right there. I wouldn't even mind AJ Styles going up against Randy Orton, because I know AJ Styles can take that slow pace and sell it better than half of the performers on the WWE roster right now. So, you know, again, the question becomes, what do you do with Roman? You know, even though he picked up the win here, got a little bit of momentum back. Now, mind you, the momentum he got at the tail end of this, the crowd, the pop, everything, all that involves Joe. You know, it all circles around your dance partner. If you have a horrible dance partner, the fucking song, it doesn't even matter. As long as your steps is off, the dance is not going to work. Joe's the right dance partner for Roman Reigns, because Joe know how to build the proper heat. He's a old school heel, or should I say a actual heel. You know, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, cool heels. But Samoa Joe is an actual heel. Everything he says sounds believable. He sounds like he will fuck you up. And that's what you want going up against a Roman Reigns. Like I said, Roman Reigns turning heel wouldn't be a bad idea at this juncture in his career. But if you're going to keep him babyface, what's next? I leave Backlash with more questions than actual solutions. You know, I give solutions. I doubt if anybody listens, but those are my solutions. And this is my Backlash review, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Roman picks up the win there. It was a nice spot where Roman was going for the drive-by on the turnbuckle, but Samoa Joe catches him mid-air and puts him in the coquina clutch. I thought it was beautiful. Very decent match from Joe and Roman Reigns, but that's my review. I'm done here. Of course, as always, check us out on JP Outlaw Labcast on YouTube. Then don't forget to check us out on Twitter. Same thing, JP Outlaw Labcast. You can easily look us up with the hashtag JP the Lab. Should take you right to it. Special shout out to my Wrestling Amino fans. We have now graced 1,000 followers. We should be well within our way to 2,000 followers pretty soon. So you guys keep doing the good thing. I will be back with my Monday Night Raw review later today. If not today, catch it tomorrow morning on the ride home. Also, as much as I'm into the JP Universe mode, I've yet to do it. I'm drawing blanks on which direction I would like to go. If anybody has any suggestion, please leave a comment at the end of this video, and I will let you guys know on which way I decided to go. And you should be getting the first episode pretty soon. I'm almost done the draft part of it, which basically is a headache because you want this person here, that person there, then you got to remember the stories that you're trying to tell. So work with me, guys. It'll be out there soon enough. As always, I am JP Outlaw. Be safe. I'm going to go wash my face and go to work. Peace.